Hi everyone! Thank you for joining me in my second light novel review. I must admit it's been a bit of a bumpy road getting here, but I haven't given up. So, Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and while I know many of you have your chocolate already prepared and ready for that special someone, not all of us are that lucky. With that in mind, I think the next best thing is a quick, heartening light novel to give you all those warm, squishy feels that you could possibly ever need. So of course, I mean the rom-com slice of life from Yen Press, The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten. It is written by Saekisan, with illustrations by Hanekoto and translation by Nicole Wilder. So the story opens up with our protagonist, Amane, spying the high school's resident beauty sitting on a lonely park swing in the pouring rain. This aloof beauty, whose name is Mahiru, wears a pained expression, and this, rather than any other motives, is what prompts Amane to reach out to Mahiru and lend her his umbrella. So it turns out that Mahiru is a truly exceptional girl, the top student, an amazing athlete, and a very cool beauty that, while heavenly, she keeps everyone, boys and girls, everyone alike, at a polite arm's length. All of these things has gained Mahiru the nickname of Angel. She also just so happens to be Amane's next-door neighbor. Upon discovering that Amane has gotten sick from having lent her his umbrella, she takes it upon herself to cook him food to help recover. Once doing this, though, she does discover that Amane is truly hopeless, a malnourished slob, and she takes on the challenge to get him back in shape. So, I'm not gonna lie, this book is nothing more than pure fluffy goodness. It's a super quick and enjoyable read, which probably, discounting all the interruptions, it took me just under 2 hours to get through it. It's your typical slice of Japanese teenage life where Amane is finally a character where I can say I have finally found the male version of Pants. Now, if you don't know who Pants is, you gotta Google the oatmeal pants. In short, it means he's a generic average guy. No more, no less. He's the kind of guy that male readers can project themselves into like a familiar comfy pair of pants. He's an okay student who honestly could probably do better if he applied himself, and he's okay at sports, and again, maybe better if it held any interest for him, but he is an unassuming introvert who keeps himself barely sustained on nothing but convenience store meals, magazines, and video games, all the while neglecting his own health, hygiene, and any kind of housework. Whereas Mahiru is your stereotypical, unattainable beauty, the one that all the boys want and all the girls want to be, except that she isn't. Hiding behind that angelic mask is a person who bears some kind of emotional burden. We don't know what, but we know that it's there and that she's hurting, and in those really quiet, intimate moments, she lets all of her walls slip, and there's something there just waiting to be let out. You know, so she is a person who works extremely hard to project a public persona in person. And then in private, she may come off as acerbic and sarcastic. And even though she's a bit prickly, she does show herself to be a caring person underneath it all. And perhaps even on that emotional level, a bit scared of the world on a whole. As you would expect, the cast of characters is rounded out by the typical supporting high school types. In fact, the only adult and the most abrasive character in this volume is Amane's meddling manic mother, which honestly, she is trying and tiring, and it kind of disrupts the pace of the book. But that's the whole point, right? And it was probably the hardest part just to read through, because you're in such a groove, you're enjoying the warm fuzzies, and then this larger-than-life woman shows up and just starts shouting everywhere. Other than that, perhaps the overusage of the word angel is my biggest pet peeve with this book. Like Mahiru herself, I got pretty annoyed with the constant use of the nickname, and more than once I actually shouted out loud, "Get a thesaurus!" Ah, there are so many other words that you could use as a describer instead of angel. But, I mean, that's nitpicking. So yes, The Angel Next Door is your normal will they, won't they rom-com, but it's the quiet simplicity of the characters and the slow but steady settings that brings an abundance of charm. Plus the food. I can't tell you. I really can't tell you how many times I ended up craving whatever it was Mahiru was making for the day. Though I have to admit, I also tend to be highly suggestible, so maybe that was just me. But I almost wish that there was a menu or recipe section, like an addendum to the book, so I could make my own versions of it all. So truly though, if you've got a touch of, seasonal affective disorder or the plain old pandemic blahs, just grab a cozy place to curl up and enjoy this genuinely wholesome tale. I'm 100% going to be reading further into this series and hope that volume 2 arrives sooner than later. I pulled the whole Kirsten Dunst thing and said, I want some more. I really did. And Justus just sort of looked at me like, we found one she likes. So the author Saekisan has promised that Amane and Mahiru will continue to drift closer together, though there will be plenty of bumps and unrequited feelings along the way. So thank you all for joining me today and for sticking along with me. I know I am nowhere near the level of reviewing that Justus is or that Haruka is over on EnglishLightNovels.com, but I hope to get there someday, and I really thank you guys for toughing it out with me. In the meanwhile, my next light novel review will be, I'm not 100% sure, to be honest, but it will be sooner and perhaps even maybe next week if I can get through the book I'm reading currently, but no promises. This has sort of been my trial by fire week. So meanwhile, make sure you subscribe and ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any of my reviews or mishaps or what have you. And meanwhile, authors, take note. We need more light novels like this. We need more pure and simple, just something you can relax into kind of books. Now, for all of you who are watching, if you have any light novels in mind that you think I may enjoy, keep the suggestions coming in the comments below or come along and chat with me in the Discord, because I'm usually checking in a couple times a day and I'm always interested to hear the light novel chatter. Thank you guys so much. Stay well, and I'll definitely see you next time. Bye!